Upper Arlington is an affluent suburban city in Franklin County, Ohio, United States, on the northwest side of the Columbus metropolitan area. The population was 33,771 at the 2010 census. Geography: Upper Arlington is located at 40°1 euro squared 14 euro cubed N 83°3 euro squared 59 euro cubed W. It is bordered on the west by the Cedar River, on the north and east by Columbus, and on the south by Marble Cliff and Granville Heights. The Olentangy River and the main campus of The Ohio State University are a short distance to the east of Upper Arlington. Downtown Columbus lies to the southeast, its skyline visible across the OSU farmland research facilities extending along Upper Arlington's eastern border. The city is around 800 feet elevation located between the Olentangy and Cedar rivers. Two ravines cut through the city. The Slate Run in the northwest corner flows into the Cedar River. However, the Turkey Run is longer. It originates in the north then runs southwards until it makes an eastward bend around Reed Road. Then, it flows eastwards through the OSU Golf Course. The run is used as a storm drain at points, has been dammed in the Ohio State course and runs through concrete pipes at 2 points. The soil is glacial till and is suitable for agriculture, supporting a research farm operated by the Ohio State University. According to the United States Census Bureau, the city has a total area of 9.87 square miles, of which 9.84 square miles is land and 0.03 square miles is water. History: Upper Arlington was founded by the real estate developers Ben and King Thompson, who purchased most of the farmland that was to become Upper Arlington in 1913. This land was directly adjacent to the Marble Cliff Quarry Company. They originally wanted to call it the Country Club District after the Country Club development in Kansas City, but by 1917, the community became known as Upper Arlington, in reference to its southern neighbor of Arlington. The Upper Arlington Company was incorporated that year and operated out of a field office built on the former Miller Farm. That building is presently the Miller Park branch of the Upper Arlington Library. The development proceeded according to the garden site Euro-inspired plan by landscape architect William Pitchkeen, Jr., which called for following the contours of the land to form curving streets, copiously lined with trees, rather than a gridded street layout. This development style gave the oldest district in Upper Arlington its distinctively pleasant, park-like feel, though the lack of roadway predictability can lead to some frustrating driving experiences even for those familiar with the neighborhood. The area features numerous small green spaces. In 1916, the development was interrupted when the National Guard used the area as a temporary training camp called Camp Willis, after Ohio's governor at the time, Frank B. Willis. 8,000 servicemen were trained at Camp Willis and then dispatched against Pancho Villa on the Mexican border. The camp was dismantled by September 1916. Development resumed shortly afterwards, and on March 20, 1918, Upper Arlington incorporated as a village, with a population of 200 and James Miller, the original landowner, serving as the first mayor. The Morway Business District, which was constructed in the 1920s, was the first commercial district in Upper Arlington. Upper Arlington became a city on February 8, 1941, and annexed surrounding land as its population grew. Most annexation occurred in the late 1940s through 1960. The two largest annexations occurred in 1954 and 1955, by which the city more than doubled its surface area. As was typical in many developing northern communities of the time, the Thompsons included restrictive covenants in their housing deeds that prevented African Americans from purchasing homes in Upper Arlington. The covenants also prevented Jewish people from purchasing homes. While today our Euro-unregistered trademark S population remains predominantly Caucasian, the community is home to individuals representing many different nationalities. The post-Euro World War II housing boom led to the development of many new housing tracts north of Lane Avenue. The newer developments took on a much different character from the older core of the city, being mostly organized along normal street grids, and with the usually ranch-style houses. This area is called River Ridge. By the 1960s, as the city grew north, the houses were larger and the neighborhoods more consistent with the intent, if not style, of the original sections south of Lane Avenue. The southern half of the city, designated as the Upper Arlington Historic District, was listed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1985. The city is sister cities with St Andrews, Scotland. Materials related to Upper Arlington's history and culture can be viewed online at the UA Archives local history website. The site is part of the UA Archives program, the Upper Arlington Public Library's Digital Library Initiative, which works with the Upper Arlington Historical Society, City of Upper Arlington School District, and other community groups to digitize, preserve, and provide free online access to historically and culturally significant materials related to Upper Arlington. This is an ongoing community effort, and organizations, businesses, and individuals can participate by allowing the UA Archives program to digitize their items of historical interest. By working with the Historical Society and other community groups, the UA Archives Digital Library Initiative supports the goal of preserving Upper Arlington's history as well as the Upper Arlington Historic District's listing on the National Register of Historic Places. Demographics 2010 census as of the 2010 census, the population was 33,771 persons, 16,157 male and 17,614 female. The following table summarizes census findings for age with the media being 42.8. 2000 census as of the census of 2000, there were 33,686 people, 13,985 households, and 9,509 families residing in the city. The population density was 3,450.2 people per square mile. There were 14,432 housing units at an average density of 1,478.2 per square mile. The racial makeup of the city was 93.74% white, 3.52% Asian, 0.98% Hispanic or Latino, 0.52% African American, 0.10% Native American, 0.01% Pacific Islander, 0.27% from other races, and 0.79% from two or more races. There were 13,985 households, out of which 31.9% had children under the age of 18 living with them, 59.1% were married couples living together, 6.9% had a female householder with no husband present, and 32.0% were non-families. 28.2% of all households were made up of individuals and 12.9% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.39 and the average family size was 2.95. In the city, the population was spread out with 24.9% under the age of 18, 4.4% from 18 to 24, 25.1% from 25 to 44, 27.1% from 45 to 64 and 18.6% who were 65 years of age or older. The median age was 43 years. For every 100 females there were 89.2 males. For every 100 females age 18 and over, there were 85.0 males. The median income for a household in the city was $72,116, and the median income for a family was $110,208. Males had a median income of $66,846 versus $41,581 for females. The per capita income for the city was $42,025. About 1.7% of families and 2.4% of the population were below the poverty line, including 1.9% of those under age 18 and 2.0% of those age 65 or over. Family data 99.2% live in households, 40.7% are householders, 24.1% were spouses of householders, 30.0% were children, 24.5% were the householder's child under 18 years, 68.9% of households were families, 32.6% were households with children, 59.1% were married couples, 26.9% were householders living alone, 4.3% were single mothers, 1.3% were single fathers. One notable feature of the Upper Arlington demographic is a bottleneck population pyramid, with large numbers of children, few young adults, and more older adults. The most prevalent population group is 50 to 64, higher than the national average. This population bottleneck can be explained by young residents moving outside the city upon adulthood and families with children moving to the city at a relatively late age. Such an explanation would also reflect the relatively high price of homes in the city, which are not affordable for younger adults. Another feature of the Upper Arlington demographic is the overwhelming white majority and the relative lack of other groups except Asians, whose population proportion is similar to the national average and above the Ohio average. In general, Upper Arlington has above-average rates of home ownership and relatively few unoccupied homes. Schools and other public services. The independent Upper Arlington City School District serves the entire municipality. As of 2000, the Upper Arlington Board of Education was the city's largest employer. There is one early childhood school named Burbank, which was built as an elementary but was converted due to a less than expected number of students. There are 5 elementary schools: Barrington, Greensview, Tremont, Wickliffe, and Windermere. Wickliffe exclusively teaches the informal progressive style of education, which is also offered at Barrington. Greensview, Tremont, and Windermere only offer the contemporary program. Hastings and Jones are the 2 middle schools. Hastings was built in the 1960s and Jones is located in the former high school building. There is only one high school in the Upper Arlington School District. It is appropriately named Upper Arlington High School. The high school is notable for its extensive offering of higher-level courses and membership in the International Baccalaureate program. Upper Arlington High School has received a number of accolades, including the highest number of National Merit semi-finalists in Ohio's public schools for 3 of the last 4 years, a nationally award-winning student news magazine, Arlingtonian, and the National Cup for the top orchestra in the country. There is also one private pre-K through 12 school, the Wellington School, located in the city. There are also 2 Catholic grade schools, St. Agatha and St. Andrew. These schools offer K-8 programs and preschool childcare centers. The high school sports teams are named the Golden Bears, a nickname shared by golf pro and Upper Arlington High School alumnus Jack Nicklaus. Upper Arlington has won 41 Ohio High School Athletic Association team state championships, the most in state history. Golden Bear teams are consistently ranked among the top Division I schools in Ohio and are traditionally considered state powerhouses, particularly in the sports of golf, tennis, water polo, lacrosse, and swimming. The Upper Arlington tennis teams have won a combined total of 42 team state titles, with an additional 9 singles state champions and 21 doubles state champions, the most in Ohio. The Upper Arlington golf team has won 17 state championships. The Upper Arlington football team captured the Division I state title in football in 2000, and were led by Jeff Bax, who earned the Mr. Football Award for Ohio, and Simon Fraser. Upper Arlington maintains its own police and fire departments. The Upper Arlington Police Division is headquartered in the Municipal Service Center and has 49 officers. The Fire Division has an authorized strength of 64 uniformed and 3 civilian personnel. Fire Division facilities include 2 fire stations, and an administrative headquarters at the Municipal Services Center. The city's public library system has 3 branches. The city manages 33 public parks, which cover a total of 170 acres. The larger parks have extensive athletic facilities, while some of the smaller parks have local historical significance or function as wooded nature preserves. Miller Park is located in the center of the old Miller Farm. Moorway Park is centered in the city's original business district and contains the memorial to U.S. military veterans from Upper Arlington. And Yandot Park bears the Gravesite and stone monument to Bill Moose, cited as the last of the Yandots. Other large parks include Thompson, Frankieburg, and Northam, where the city offers tennis courts. The city also owns and operates 3 public swimming pools, located at Jones, Hastings, and Tremont schools. Community events. Upper Arlington annually hosts a 4th of July parade and fireworks display, thanks to the efforts of members of the Upper Arlington Civic Association. The fireworks display is the second largest in the state by volume. The Upper Arlington Labor Day Arts Festival at Northern Park and the annual Halloween Festival at Tremont Elementary School, where visitors can buy crafts, treats, pumpkins and other items are other notable community events. The city's Parks and Recreation Department hosts numerous events including the Winter Festival and tree lighting, Spring Fling, Summer Celebration and Fall Fest. Other events include the Chamber's Taste of UA Festival, and during the summer months Upper Arlington also hosts a program called Movie in the Park, where a movie is shown in Upper Arlington's various parks. A farmers market is held every Wednesday afternoon in the parking lot of the Senior Center in Northern Park from May into October. The site Unregistered Trademark's Cultural Arts Division hosts a Summer Music in the Park series and showcases juried exhibitions featuring 2- and 3-dimensional art in the Concourse Gallery at the Municipal Services Center, 3600 Tremont Road. Notable people: Beverly D'Angelo, actress and singer. A graduate of Upper Arlington High School, Cordelia E. Cook, first woman to receive both the Bronze Star Medal and the Purple Heart, Simon Fraser, retired professional football player. Born in Upper Arlington, Woody Hayes, former head football coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes, resided on Cardiff Road near Cardiff Woods. Abigail Johnston, USA Olympic silver medalist synchronized diver, Jack Nicklaus, retired professional golfer. Born in Upper Arlington, and a graduate of Upper Arlington High School. Grew up playing at Cito Country Club. George Smoot, Nobel Prize-winning astrophysicist, cosmologist, Jim Tressel, former head football coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes, president of Youngstown State University. Chris Spielman, retired professional football player, television sports commentator for ESPN and ABC Sports. Steve Stivers, U.S. House Representative for Ohio's 15th Congressional District. Gallery. References. External links. City website, Upper Arlington Historical Society, UA Archives, explore the history of Upper Arlington, Ohio at DMOZ.